All right, let's see if I can turn the mirroring the video off. I think my volume's still up, so hopefully everybody will be able to hear me. Oh, I need a haircut, Who's out there today on a Thursday? Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. It is not Thursday. Going to be doing some WesWy mustache shaping. So hopefully if you have any questions while I'm doing it, I will try to get to the questions down here. But I'm going to use WesWy. It's out of North Carolina. So the ingredients for WesWy Plain Jane is beeswax, lanolin, argan oil, coconut oil, emu oil, golden jojoba. Hello, how are you? I think it's hemp seed oil. Oh, there we go. Sweet almond oil, ascension oil, and fragrance oils. But to me, the Plain Jane itself is unscented. Yeah, it really doesn't have a scent, I think. So I would just call this unscented. But this is WesWy. I would call it like a medium wax, but it's got a pretty good hold. It's easy to get out of the tin, and as you can see, I have used quite a little bit of this. The WesWy company does make some scented mustache waxes. Sun Dripping is a really cool lemony smelling one. Saddle Up, French Port Sipping, that kind of stuff. They're really good scented, but they have a pretty decent hold. I don't know what kind of mustache I'm going to make. I just got done shaving. I actually mic'd myself up, did a little ASMR shave video. So I'm hoping that the audio will be a little bit better. I'm going to move this light in a little bit. Get it right here. So my mustache is visible. So that way as I'm putting the wax on, it's at least visible so I can show what I'm doing. But I'm going to be using WesWy Plain Jane to make the mustache. I really don't know what shape I'm going to take today. I'm just going to start putting wax in and see how the hairs fall. I did a live on Instagram the other day where I did in English, which basically is a different technique for me. It's like it's so dark in here. I don't understand why. But when I do in English, I'll take the hairs and I try to get them more vertical. And then I take the hair like this as I'm putting the wax in to make it straight. But typically what I do with the hair is I will come in and align them so that they're right on top of each other like that. It makes it thinner from the side, but I think it presents it a little bit better, and that's how I like it. Maybe if I turn my hat around, then the light will be a little bit better. Yeah, that looks to be a little bit better. My face kept getting shadowed. I must ask you a question, but I'll shave it for later. I've seen that one. So, once again, I'm going to do a live shaping with some WesWy mustache wax. The link to this company, I believe, is in my drum page via my bio. If it isn't, I'll add it a little bit later. There is a discount code if you'd like to try it. They do make beard oil and beard balm, I believe, as well, in a different scents. So without further ado, the only thing I've done is I wash my mustache with Beard Brothers mustache or beard and body soap bar. Oh, why was that so hard to say? Then once that was done, I took a little bit of the Kenyu Handlebar beard and face lotion, rubbed that in basically at the base of the hairs to keep the skin moisturized. On the days that I don't wax with like a mustache wax, I'll put a beard oil in and I rub that in at the base of the skin, and then I'll put a balm over top, and that's a leave-in conditioner, and it keeps the hair healthy, allowing it to grow to its fullest potential. So without further ado, how do you apply mustache wax? If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that most mustache wax companies tell you to scrape out about the size of a pea. I've been doing it for a while, so I typically will start with twice that amount, but this does look like it's a pea size, right? So if you squish this between your fingers, cut that. No, I'm not going to cut it, but if you'd like me to cut it, go see my first pin video. The details are laid out for the month of February. If you want to see me shave it off, make it happen, all right? Otherwise, I'm not going to shave it off. So if I rub it between my fingers, you see how it's not as sticky? I'm going to coat those two fingers, and what I'm going to do is start in the middle and work my way out. One of the things I have found is that as I breathe, as I talk, the hair in the middle seems to loosen the most because of my warm breath. So right now I'm not going to take any duels until I get a little further into it. It's a little harder to talk to someone and be putting this in my mustache, so maybe towards the end. Looking good. Thank you so much. So see how it coats? Start right here in the middle and just start applying the wax. Now, you don't have to do it like I'm doing. I'm trying to take the hairs and align them on top of each other. And the reason I do that, for me, that's my preference. Otherwise, a lot of guys will twist the hairs, and that kind of bunches the hairs up like this. And if you need to make an adjustment later with a comb, you run the risk of yanking hairs out. Happy birthday! Everybody, happy birthday to Tyler right there. Birthday is on the 5th. The 4th of February marks, it's an anniversary for me. I joined the Army in 1994, February 4th. So that's always a special day for me. So I don't know. What is that going to be? That's going to be 28 years ago. What, tomorrow? Today? Tomorrow? No, today's the 2nd. On the 4th, 28 years ago, I was in basic training. So coating my fingers. And as you can see, rubbing it between my fingers is making it more pliable. That's the heat source, right? And that's why I call it like a medium wax. Plus the hold's a little bit on like a medium to strong. Now, I pull or shape towards my shoulder, right? Because that'll allow me to go down and then make a curve if I want to, or a curl out at the end. And you can see the wax is leaving my fingers and it's now going into the mustache. Now, I may or may not comb it after I get one layer in. The reason being is if you're putting wax on, typically it's on the top of the hair, the bottom of the hair, but it's not necessarily getting in between. So running a comb after you put some wax in will spread that wax in there. Excuse me. But it does thin the wax out a little bit, so you got to put a little more in. Water break. How do I wash my mustache? I use, hold on. I should have had this out handy. Not while I'm shaping. I might take some people to join afterwards. It gets confusing trying to make the conversation and style my mustache. But like a beard shampoo. So head shampoo will strip out needed oils on your facial hair. The facial hair needs a certain amount of oil to stay healthy so it can grow to its fullest potential. So, scraping out some more. Now, I go a little bit heavy on layer 1, right? Or stage 1. Because I want the mustache to start to take a little bit of a shape. And then, once I let it set for a little bit and come back to room temperature consistency, then I go back over it with tiny little amounts. And I'm taking the mustache wax. Give me a second. I'll demonstrate a little better. Taking it from this room temperature consistency, which is firm, right? And then I'm going and rubbing it between my fingers, warming it up, changing the consistency, making it more pliable. Then I put it in my mustache. And then if I wait a little bit, it firms up, which it's already starting to do pretty well. So then as I put a little bit on, it's still a little bit bendable or adjustable, shapeable, whatever you want to say. Okay, let me see. Captain Price. Yeah, I've done a couple of things for Captain Price semi-cosplay. Hello, Brazil. Colored hair, elastics, or anything when you sleep. No, I don't do anything when I sleep. I ball a pillow up underneath of my jawline. Tips from keeping it falling backwards, cheeks, no matter what wax I use, recommendations. All right, give me a second, bro. Ooh, that's in another language. Yeah, honestly, take the dew, wax, how long? The average for me is about 20 minutes. All right, so to keep it from tipping forward, what I do is I blow dry it back towards my ears. And then as I shape, I will start to shape it towards my ear like that. That way, it trains it to be back like this, and then I start to pull it forward. Mine has a tendency to tip forward, so by putting it in and going back towards the ear, it kind of helps counteract that tipping forward. So, Let me see. Hello, Germany. Wax into 5 ends. It looks like a high five. I have, the most I've done is 5 rings on each side. So I have a playlist called Odd Mustaches, and that's where you'll find that video. So 10 total rings. It was fun to make. It would be considered a freestyle mustache. See how I'm pulling it back towards my ear? And I'll put a little more wax in it so I can show you. We'll see what I'm going to make today. So now the wax came off of the fingers, transferred into the mustache is what you want. Hello, Ukraine. How are you? Now I'm going to put it on the opposite hand. Now, one of the things that I preach is wiping your hands off quite often so that you don't get tacky hands. See how it's just a little bit sticky? Because now I'm gonna hold the mustache with these hands, and if it's real sticky and I go to move, see how it sticks just a little bit? That's not bad, but if you've got a lot of wax buildup, then what you could run into is like pulling the mustache apart. So I'm gonna pull it back towards my ear a little. Just a little bit. Now you can go on the top and kind of do it like that, but I will angle it back towards my ear a little bit. And I'm still trying to stack the hair on top of each other, but I'm going back towards the ear. Hopefully you can see that. If I move in, yeah, there you go. I'm going to curl it back towards my ear a little bit. And then as it firms up, I'll start to bring it more around. I might do, you know what? I might do closed curls today. That's another way that I fight it tipping forward, is if I do closed curls and attach it, then it doesn't come over very much. How often do I go through a tin of wax? Well, I have a lot of different waxes, but when I was using one ounce tin, strictly waxing 7 days a week, almost 2 months, right? It probably would have lasted a little bit longer, but in the very beginning, I was adding beard oil to my mustache. I did not know that wax was oil soluble. So, hello, Switzerland. By putting beard oil in and then trying to put mustache wax on top of it, it didn't firm up like this. It just stayed kind of like gooey or real pliable. So it was taking me like an hour to do it, and that was getting real frustrating. All right, so look, see how sticky it is? Rub it between your fingers. Get it nice and warm, make it pliable, coat the fingers, then start right here in the middle and work your way out. And like I said, I'm going towards my shoulder, applying the wax in, trying to put a coat on, really paying attention to this area, because this will become loose the fastest, because the more you talk, the more you eat, the more you drink, the more you breathe, all that stuff, it'll start to soften the wax up a little bit. So it's always good to put a little extra right there. Hard to eat and drink? No, not if I style it. If I style it away from my mouth, it's not that much of a problem. If it's not styled, I will part it and lift it. Or I have a mustache mate, and that helps me lift it up and get it out of the way. I'm not worried about getting it dirty. What I don't want to do is I don't want to chew it off. All right, so I'm going to go right back here in the middle. And this really helps. The way I'm doing it is, see how my hands are running? And that is to align the hairs, to keep the hairs on top of each other versus twisting them. Because, like I said, if I need to make an adjustment later, it's just so much easier to put a comb in and make that adjustment than when they're like this. Hello, Turkey. There's no roach on my wall. No roach. I promise, no roach. But see, after putting the wax in, see how it comes off of the fingers? Chopsticks, so you can hold it away while you eat. Well, that's where the mustache mate comes in. It's a tool designed by Beard Laws to help you keep your mustache out of your food and out of your mouth, right? All right, let me see. Running it out. Really trying to get it in there. And so, I mean, one side of my mustache likes to go down and out, and the other one likes to go kind of like that. This side, I think, likes to go up towards my ear. You can see how it's a little uneven. And so the wax really helps me fix it. When I don't wax, if I don't use, say, a brush and a hair dryer, they tilt around to the front like that. It's kind of crazy. Lip extensions. I don't know if anybody makes lip extensions, right? That is so time consuming. Not really. It takes me, do I have a beard? Do other guys have beard kink? I don't understand what that means. Any gray hairs? I probably have some white hairs. I'm blonde, so I don't get gray. I probably get white, which is all right. You know, I'm 48 years old. Can't have pure blonde hair the rest of my life. Be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen. Got a little straggler. We'll fix them here in a second. I got to finish up this part right there, right? Can't have the mustache like this. Where are you from? Originally, I am from Michigan, but I live currently in the state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, I guess. All right, so now I'm going to add the wax in on this side. Because see how those hairs, they just want to go different directions. So I'm trying to keep them stacked on top of each other. Because if I twist them like this, right? Now, if I go to stick a comb in there later on, it's going to be crazy. I was born Port Huron, Michigan. That's where I'm from. So yeah, Bay City. It's up in the thumb region. Everybody in Michigan, like, I'm from like right here, right? And then Detroit is down here. Do my coworkers want to touch it? No, a lot of them run around. They do that, right? How long did it take you to grow that mustache? I'm at 37 months with 4 major trims, taking 8.5 inches off of each side. So yeah, I don't like to twist it because if I need to make an adjustment later, because I used to twist it, but like if some of the hairs come loose and I need to run a comb through, having it twisted, oh man, I yank some hairs. And you know, the average mustache has about 600 hairs. So if you lose some during styling, during brushing, you know, it's pretty common. So don't freak out. The average growth rate, see, I got a hair right there. The average growth rate is about 1/2 inch a month. So if you're yanking a bunch of hair out, then happy birthday to you. Then you could be losing like, you know, a month or 2 of growth. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this first coat in. I'll probably run a comb through because I want to make sure that I spread the wax. So I'm just going to give it a basic shape, go back towards my ear a little bit. We'll chit-chat a little bit. I'll run a comb through, and then I will put in the second layer and start to do the close curls. So if I just take my mustache and bring it up like this, that's called an open curl, right? But if you connect it over, that's called a close curl. So it doesn't have to look real pretty right now. But yeah, I want to run a comb through it. Sometimes that can, by spreading the wax in between, that can help strengthen the hold of your mustache. All right, can you say, I cannot. Does it help you gauge narrow doors? Sometimes I bump it a lot on my shoulders. Favorite shampoo to use? The one I've used the longest is Can You Handlebar Beard Shampoo, but I also use Honest Amish Beard and Soap Bars. I use a Beard and Soap Bar from Mountaineer brand, Beard Brothers, and The Beard Place. The Pringles Man. Oh, don't be jealous of my mustache. Can I tie it in a pretzel? I probably could, but it would take me a little while to get it, you know, bring it around and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And then it'd be over my mouth. So it'd be, hello, how are you? It'd be a little hard to eat. So let me see. No, that's a man's stash. Well, thank you. How long did it take? I'm at 37 months with 4 major trims, taking 8.5 inches off of each side. Spread the wax. I definitely will. How angry would I be if somebody would cut it off? That'd be assault, right? I'd bite them. That'd be the first thing I did, was I bit them. Bit. Does your boyfriend like it? No, my wife, it was not a fan of the facial hair. She didn't care for the beard, but she's more acceptable of the mustache, I guess. Oh, don't be jealous of my mustache. Love your mustache. Thank you. Duke Cannon has amazing products too. I think I've heard that before. Well-earned bite if they did. Yeah. Escanor, I'm sorry. Did you dirty the latest season? Did I dirty it? No, but I did watch season 5. I'm in the last 2 episodes. So I have seen where Escanor does say his goodbyes. Yesterday, I put on my Escanor garb, actually wore it to work, and put out like 3 videos. So if you want to see how those turned out, make sure you go check those out. A long mustache is for everyone or not. It depends on your preference, the style you're trying to go for. If you're trying to do like a musketeer or an English, you want some length. If you're doing a Hungarian, you want some length. But if you're doing like an imperial and just some open curls, you may not want it super long because look how thin it is there on the ends, right? And so it doesn't hold as well. Our helmets. I don't wear a helmet right now. What do I do for a living? I work on computers. Are the links for the shampoos in your bio? Yeah, so Can You Handlebars in there. The Beard Place is in there. I don't know if I had a Honest Amish, but they are here on TikTok and Instagram if you want to check them out. But yeah, Can You Handlebars is definitely in there. Yeah. I had the hat this way, but it seems to shadow my face. And if I lower this light anymore, then you're going to see the ring light in my glasses, and it'll look, I don't know, it'll look kind of crazy, and I didn't want to do that. Definitely give you some pointers. Oh, well, that's the thing I'm trying to do. Do you ever get the urge to shave it off? I don't get the urge to shave it off, but a lot of people are like, what would you shave it off for? So I made another video for the month of February. If you're wondering what the terms are, definitely go check out my first pin video. Hello, Russia. How are you? All right, so I let it firm up some, but I'm going to run a comb through because I want to spread the wax. I put the wax on like this, but I want to get the wax in between the different hairs so that I don't get that separating like it's happening right there. So I want to spread the wax. Could you please fix the middle of your mustache there? It's like, yeah, I'm getting there. But it's all part of the process. I'm not completely done. So see how the comb, it glided right through. But if I had it all like twisted and all that stuff, it would get jammed in there. Goes right through. And it didn't leave that much wax on there. Just wipe that off. If you get a wax buildup in your mustache comb, this one is from Stash Salt. Just take some hot water, run it over it, and then you can do it one more time. Yeah, you do it. That helps not only align the hairs, but spread the wax. There we go. So now, typically what I do before I apply more wax is I will go through, put a little tension on the hair, pinch it, and slide. So, or as I call it, pinch and slide. I'm just going through with the hand. The wax is a little softer because I ran the comb through, which is okay. And I'll put a little more wax to fix that. But I'm just making sure the hairs are aligned. You can actually feel, when you run your hand, you can feel like what I call like knots, right? So if a hair has folded over like this, you'll feel it on the backside with your thumb, and then you know to just kind of pop it loose. Have I seen a blue hedgehog around here? Well, if I did, I'd catch him so I can get his power, right? See, I was thinking about trimming my mustache because, let me see. I don't know if you guys can see it. See how it's the same thickness out to about here, but not so much through here. It gets a little thinner. I was thinking of trimming it down, and it would let me style it a little better. Because when it becomes really long and thin, there's only so many styles you can do. Oh, here did not line up right. Sorry, didn't mean to zone out here. A little tension, a little pinch. So in the beginning, if you've been watching from the beginning, I took quite a lot of mustache wax and started putting it between my fingers. So now that I've had wax in it for a little while, it has firmed up a little while. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little less of the mustache wax. Now you can scrape it out, or you can take, a lot of the companies will give you like a guitar pick. But I take out about half of what I had before, which was about the size of a pea, if not a little bit bigger. I'll show you guys. So that's a lot less. And what I'm going to do is only rub it a little bit. Why am I doing that? I don't want to change the pliability so much because I want it to come back to that room temperature consistency a little faster. Yeah, I'll get those guys. And I think I might make some closed curls today. I'll show you guys how I do it. Those little guys right there always love to come loose. And, I don't blame them. I mean, I'm talking, I'm breathing. Just a little bit more. Only rub it a little bit. Because I want it to go in like a little thicker. I don't want the wax to be so thin when I put it in. And I want it to firm up a little faster. Because now I'm ready to really start finishing up the shape. There we go. That side's getting a little better. I'll put on one little small coat. No, my mustache is already named Elliot Norris. I can't rename my mustache. Now see how I don't have to go back towards my ear so much? Because it already wanted to come a little forward. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's slightly bent back, but it's helping to combat it tipping forward. All right, so I'm going to leave that alone. It's not done. It's got a little bit of loose hair in there, but I put a little more wax on top of it, and as it firms up, I'll start to shape it, put a little bit more, just a tiny bit of the wax. And just a little rub between the fingers. Sorry, I get all quiet, so the brain can only do so much. Once you get to a certain age, like me, 48, in order to see better, like when I'm driving, I got to turn the radio down. I don't know. It works. It works. I don't know if you're at that point in your life yet, but when you're driving and you're like trying to concentrate and see better on the road, especially at night, and you turn all the music off or whatever and make everybody be silent in the vehicle, it's like, wow, I can suddenly see a whole lot better. Is it down, side, same as that? I started the whole journey as a yeared. So I grew a beard for a year, just a little bit. But at the end of 20 months, I knew I had a really, really nice beard. But everywhere I looked, there were really, really nice beards, right? There wasn't a whole lot of really, really big mustaches. Nobody was really sporting the mustache because it was a whole lot easier to do a beard, right? It's less maintenance. You don't have to worry as much. Less to do with it. So I made the call to transition to a mustache because I wanted to inspire more men to grow mustaches, kind of take the same journey that I had taken. Down part just like that. Also, okay, need to grow my eyebrows like that. You called the president? No, I haven't called anybody. So I still got those little guys there. I'll have to get a little extra wax in there. Putting a little back there. So if you're curious, for a mustache, when it comes to competitions, they have guidelines. Each competition has kind of guidelines they tend to follow. Not all are typically the same. Like nationals and worlds, they're just slightly different. As a bearded guy, I thought I was putting in a lot of work till now. Does it feel heavy? No, it doesn't feel heavy at all. But for nationals, 3/4 of an inch from the corner of your mouth is how much hair you're allowed to draw from. You're also not allowed any hair below the corner of your mouth. So if you are drawing hair from under here, you would then be put into what's called a partial beard category. So what's going on? How are you? New to TikTok. This is fun. Well, make sure you come back. What happens when you eat an ice cream cone? Typically with a spoon. I mean, if I'm going to stick ice cream up there and it's going to hit here, it'll get in the mustache. I'll just wipe it out. But have you ever used Beard Club products? I don't think I have. But, you know, I was feeling kind of nostalgic about the beard, and I got a lot of beard care products, which I still use in my mustache. I decided on January 31st and put up some new terms. And what I'll do is I'll basically tell you what the terms are. If you want me to grow my beard back out, down to here again, get me to 1 million followers by the end of this month, which is like 170,000. It's very possible, right? Because I've gone up 220,000 in one particular month. Is it real? Yeah, that's a real mustache. But if you are part of the Shave It Off Club, right? Movember is the organization that I put their donation link in my bio. And if that gets to $250,000 by the end of this month, I will shave off my mustache and start over. So those are like $250,000. That's a lot of money for 1 month. Not really. I've got 822,000 followers. If each one of them put in 50 cents, that would well cover the $250,000. So how long did it take for your beard to get like that? And how old is it? So 37 months. I've taken 8.5 inches off of each side with 4 major trims. Love the mustache. Do you correct on the sides? Do you mean, do I trim the edges? Yeah, that's really the only place I will trim it is out on the ends. I also use like beard shampoo, beard oil, and beard balm when I'm not waxing. I use beard oil and beard balm, but I use a beard cleaner every time I shower. So what does that do? That doesn't strip out the natural oils that the hair needs to be healthy, so I get less dead ends. Try to drink a lot of water. If you're hydrated, then the hair is hydrated and it doesn't dry out as well. If you want to see Yosemite Sam, go check out my buddy, Sir Stash-A-Lot. He definitely has the Yosemite Sam looking going on. To the ladies, it scrolled past, but I saw what you said. Is that a mustache? Yes, it is. My wife does not care for the beard so much, but she's grown accustomed to the mustache. Can you make it pink color? What wax? Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been doing this live. Today I am using WesWy Plain Jane out of North Carolina. This to me is an unscented wax. They do have some scented, saddle up, front porch sipping, sun dripping. The ingredients are beeswax, lanolin, argan oil, coconut oil, emu oil, golden oil. I really can't say that. Sweet almond oil, essential oils, and fragrance oils, right? So it's all natural. By putting this in, it's not harmful to my mustache. This is beeswax based. There are some out there that are pine resin based. Some do a mixture of beeswax and pine resin. It's a slightly different texture, so does it navigate through? Yeah, if I can fit my mustache through, I think I can get my shoulders through. No, it's not quite that long yet, right? Have I ever poked anyone? Yes, I have. So I had a scissor mustache I did. I was out at a wine festival that I was hosting their mustache and beard competition, and somebody asked if they could take a selfie. So they were holding their phone up, and then I tried to move in closer to get in the camera, and I poked the person right in the cheek. And it didn't hurt them, but they were like, oh, you poked me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It comes down to a preference. This is the beard shampoo I've used the longest. I started using beard soap bars from Honest Amish, from The Beard Place, from Mountaineer brand, and Beard Brothers. And they all work really well. What brand of jacket is that? This is a Rhoback, R-H-O-B-A-C-K. They actually had a mustache polo that was coming out for Movember. We got together in Charlottesville, Virginia, did a photo shoot of me in the polo to kick off their ad campaign for the month of November. So it was pretty awesome. Do I compete? Yes, I do. So this is my 2020 USA First Place National Handlebar Championship ribbon. This is my 2021 second place. This is from the Beard Battle of Los Angeles Part 5, where I took first place style mustache. I've won first place in multiple competitions. So I do compete. Can you re-wax so that both are on one side? I have done that. It's a little crazy to do it that way, but I have done the parted or one-sided mustache. Any tips for eating? Yes. When not waxed, part it and lift it like that. Wax it away from your mouth like I've done. I can eat, I can drink, you know, with no problems. Or check out Mustache Mate. How do I sleep? Typically, I'll ball a pillow up underneath of my chin, and it doesn't affect it. But now, I'm going to take my WesWy Plain Jane mustache wax, which I call a medium wax, and let's make some closed curls, right? Right now, this is kind of like a Hungarian, but I know I will bump into things with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some extra wax on the ends and some wax in here, and I'm basically going to fold it over and connect it behind. How long is your hair under the hat? I actually got a cut not too long ago, so I like it really, really short, but I've been trying to do a couple of Escanor cosplays, so I wanted the hair to be a little bit longer. If you haven't seen any of my Escanor stuff, I did put out like 3 videos yesterday. So I've got the red bow tie, the white shirt, and the green vest. So between the oils and balms, which is better? So oils is more like a liquid, right? Like this. And this you rub onto the base of the skin. And this is a stash balm. But I'll let you look at the... It's a little more... It's a little thicker. This goes on the top layer of the hair and acts as like a leave-in conditioner. What a great stash. Thank you, and thank you for the gift. All right, real quick, I must ask you a question or I'll shave it for later. Yeah, I have that on a t-shirt. All right, let's do some closed curls. Once again, WesWy Plain Jane, they are out of North Carolina. So as you can see, the mustache has firmed up, or it's gone back to that room temperature firmness or consistency, right? Beauty and the Beast. I'll have to take a look at it. Cogsworth, yeah. Yeah, I don't see why I couldn't, unless it's a little bit smaller, like, ooh, hand was cramping. Escanor's mustache obviously is shorter than mine, so I don't do it true justice, but I'm not ready to trim the mustache down that short yet. So I'm going to put a little extra thick wax right back here, right? And you can see a lot of it came off. Now I'm going to coat the ends. Okay, this other hand. Going to clean this hand. I am from Virginia right now. You're working on your handlebar mustache. Do not give up on it yet. Now I'm going to coat the end. All right. Now, got a little bit more. Now I'm going to go silent here. Bravo 6 going dark. Because I'm going to try to bend it. And I'm trying to keep the hair from coming out down here. So as long as I got that wax on the end, I should be able to bring it around. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this hand, I'm going to pinch it behind. I don't know if you guys can see it or if I'm in the camera, but the hair is bent over and I'm attaching it, right? So now what I'm going to do is slowly, see how it's wanting to stick? I'm going to slowly take it. Oh, I said slowly, didn't I? Start bending it over, pinching it, bend it over. Some of those little hairs came loose, the little boogers. That's why I'm trying to make sure this hand is not too tacky, because it'll pull it apart. You can see a little bit of the end sticking out. What I'll do is pinch it and push it over. I'll have to get that hair here in a minute. And I'm pinching it together to let it kind of firm up just a little bit. Push that hair down. Hair in the back. I'm going to put a little more wax. Sorry, there's a couple of comments, but you like it better straight out? You know, I do too, but this is a whole lot easier to do stuff with. Like when my mustache is out, the last time I measured it about 3 weeks ago, it was 6 inches and a quarter. Yeah. But when I fold it over like this is, if I styled my mustache and had to wear a mask at work, this is how I would style my mustache, right? Because it would be bent back towards my cheek, right? And the mask would lay against it. And when I take the mask off, it holds that. What I would worry about is the hairs right here in the middle, because I'd be breathing underneath the mask, and that would soften it up. So I've kind of done that side. You can see the difference between the two. It looks like an old-timey lamp, doesn't it? Maybe I'll rub it and a genie will pop out, right? What do you guys think? All right. So I'm going to play with this side for just a second longer to make sure, because, you know, by nature, it's going to want to unravel. So the more I fool with it right now, the better it'll hold. And I like to go through and pinch it to make sure everything stays together. And then the best thing I can do for this is when I'm completely done is to go outside where it's about 40 degrees and let the cold air like firm it up. So as you guys can see, it's doing pretty good. This right here is trying to let loose. That's why I'm pushing down on it and pinching in the back. And see how it's stuck to my thumb. So I can take a little bit more wax, just a tiny bit. I'm gonna put it on the thumb mostly. Just rub it a little. Put the mustache together and see how it's sticking underneath. Bring it up, pinch it. Deposit that wax. See how it's gone now? And I'm sliding my finger just a tiny bit in the back to make sure that wax smears. That one little hair right there keeps wanting to stick out. It's because I've been messing with it right there. That's all right. I'll clean it up a little bit later. All right. Let me see. How do you get your mustache like that? Well, that's the purpose of this video. I've been going through it. Have you ever heard something like biotin? Yes. So I did use a derm roller on half of my face for the month of November. And everything I've read on it says that the derm rollers first came out to help out with men's balding. And that everybody says that if you put some biotin on your face first, then run the derm roller, is supposed to help. What is the purpose of a derm roller? It has a bunch of needles. Like mine had 540 titanium needles. It's to stimulate the skin and increase blood flow. Now, I do not have patchy hair down here, so I can't say whether the derm roller helped me grow in hair. But I will say the entire kit made one side of my face feel softer than the other. So that's the effect I got from it. All right, now it's time to do this side, right? And what did we do? We took our WesWy Plain Jane and took a little extra. Gonna recoat the mustache, just a little bit of rubbing. Because what I'm trying to do is definitely get it on these back hairs, like that other side, they try to come loose. So I'm adding a little more wax so it'll be sticky for when I bend this part of the mustache up and around. Trying to get the two sides somewhat even. Whoop. But this finger is still sticky, right? Oh yeah, the tombstone definitely catches some eyes. Clean off the hand so it's not overly sticky. Then I'm going to put a little more on the end. Just a little bit of rubbing. Coating the end. So that way, hopefully what will happen is this end will stick to itself on the back side. So as I bend it, I'm trying to look over here and make sure it's somewhat symmetrical. Coat it. And then start to bend it. Now, the hair will sometimes like to split like that. And that's what I'm trying to prevent, so I don't just yank it over. All right. Oh, you little booger. You still came apart, didn't you? Didn't you? I think the hardest part I have with this is making the two loops the same size and general shape. So sometimes it takes a little bit of tweaking, because it already doesn't look the same to me. So I see comments popping up, but I'm like really focusing in here. And I'm trying to get that little bend out, or that little bump. pull down on it a little bit. What I may do is go through and just mash that side down a little bit, push up on it. Yeah, they are definitely not the same thickness, which is okay because I can go back to this side and scrunch it in and make them more symmetrical. So, Mechanics Mustache, nice work on a freeform. Yeah, well, I've been doing this for a couple years now. Do you put both oils and balm on it, or is it counterproductive? If I'm not waxing, I will put oil and balm because they're different. The oil goes at the base of the skin, and it's more for the skin to keep the skin healthy. The balm goes on top of the hair to be a leave-in conditioner for the hair, and it helps keep the hair healthy throughout the day. It'll help keep it soft, keep it from getting all wiry. Yeah, you're being a little booger on this side. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm trying to touch it. Oh, the loose hair right there. And it's coming from the top part of the mustache because as I was playing with it, a couple of the hairs came loose when I poked it on the back side. So I'm trying to get them under control without pulling that too much. But they're still wanting to come loose. You know what I'll do is I'll do this. But you guys didn't expect that. I'm going to put a little more wax on that back side. That's all right, you know. Sometimes you got to do that. If the mustache isn't behaving the way you want, show it who's boss, right? All right, so the mustache bends right about there. Bring it around. SpongeBob would say, bring it around. Stop on your good foot. All right, you little booger. I will get to the comments here in a second, trying to make sure that this is somewhat symmetrical with the other side. And, you know, so one of the challenges is, I don't know, you guys can see how thin that is. So there's a tiny bit, a surface area that I'm trying to attach on the backside. So when the mustache hangs down below, I can then push it and attach it on the back, and it gives me a little more surface area to try to connect the two pieces. But by the end of the day, this will try its best to pull loose, which is fine because then I have some really, really nice looking open curls. And then I'll put a little more wax through there. Sorry, I'm trying to see if they're symmetrical somewhat, because basically I can control that by pushing those two sides together to thin it out. I don't mean to be ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to really make it look nice for you. So another thing I sometimes will do is I will go out in the cold and I'll hold it like this, right? And what that does is it allows it to firm up. So I'm not going to touch it after this little tweak right here. For a couple of minutes, I'm going to let it firm up, because if I keep tweaking it, I'm not allowing it to come back to that room temperature consistency like that. And that's really what I want it to do. So the more I keep tweaking it or putting wax in it, the more it's going to not allow it to come back to that room temperature consistency. So how long did it take me to grow it? I'm at 37 months. I've had 4 major trims where I've taken off 8.5 inches off of each side. What do you think about Death Grip wax? That's how I got this. The 2020 National Handlebar Championship was with Death Grip Sudden Death before it was even in the stores. So they reached out to me, asked if I would try the wax, and they're like, hey, have you heard about these nationals? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to do them. They're like, we'll pay your entry fees and all of that stuff. So I wound up bringing home first place for them. 2020 USA National Handlebar Champion. So Death Grip they have Old Country, which is a light wax. They have Bare Bones, which is a medium wax. Then they have Sudden Death, which is a strong no heat room temperature wax. And then they have Death Grip, which it's an extra strong wax, and you need to heat that up before you apply it, and you need to heat it up when you make adjustments. Hey, Jody, what's going on? No one knows, even expect us. We are our own worst enemies of style. Yeah, we're like our biggest critics, right? So I met Jody, right? Is it Jody? At Nationals, right, in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I met her this year. She had an amazing Whiskerina outfit. She was a milkman, had a beautiful mustache. It was truly something cool to see. Today I am using WesWy Plain Jane. They do have some scented waxes. I got some for my husband. I found it hard to work with. So depending on the wax you got, you may need to run a hair dryer over to soften it. So here's the test, right? This is a medium wax. If you can scrape it out like I did, then that's a medium wax. If you could take it between your fingers, crush it, and it's sticky, but as you rub it, it gets less sticky, it becomes more pliable, that's a medium wax. If you're scraping on the top and barely anything's coming out, take a hair dryer on low, run it for about 10 seconds, try that. What you don't want is lava, right? So don't do it on high. Run it for about 10 seconds. If it hasn't quite softened it up, then run it for 15 seconds and then try that, and it should come out between his fingers. I cannot get death grip. Maybe I should have gotten sudden death. Keep the death grip, right? And maybe get the sudden death, because what you can do is put the sudden death in, or any mustache wax, right? And then you take a little bit of the death grip and you go back over your shape, and what it'll do is it'll lock it in and make it almost like it's extra strong. Do I have mods? Oh yeah, you know, I'm mod 2.0. I'm not a video game. But I have been playing Zelda Breath of the Wild here a lot on the little one's new Switch. She got the Switch, and I'm like, hey, Daddy, I'd like to get this Breath of the Wild. And she wanted to play too, but, you know, there's a lot of mechanics in it that isn't cool for a 7-year-old. Oh yeah, anytime. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to share my experiences so that people do not get discouraged like I really did in the first 5 months. Pretty much, I was like a bull in a china shop, and I'm like, why isn't this mustache wax working? So, what does it have to do with mustache? Oh, I didn't see whatever it was that went on. They mean moderators. Oh! I have one guy that I think could be a chat moderator. You know, I've only had a couple instances where having a moderator I think would have been really, really handy. Especially when a lot of the questions come flying in, but I try to peek up here and see. So how did I get my mustache like that? Well, that's what this live was about. I took WesWy, put it in my mustache, the first layer. I took the mustache out like that. I stopped for a little while, let the mustache firm up, and then I put a little more in, and then I started bending these over and attaching them. Also have to tweak them because this side is trying to come loose. So I'll have to put a little more wax on the back side, push it down and hold it. But I'll do that after that. Handlebars for, I have no idea what reference you're trying to make. So what about, think of turkey. I have no beef with turkey. Hello, turkey. Right? I've seen some really big mustaches coming out of that region of the world. Does WesWy smell? This Plain Jane is unscented. Now, what does unscented mean? That means typically they don't add fragrances. But it smells like beeswax. And a little bit, you know, if you can smell lanolin oil or the emu oil. So, to me, I enjoy that. I enjoy the unscented. There's a lot of waxes that are scented that I really, really love. But the Plain Jane has, you know, it says fragrance oils, but it's not scented like pine trees. It's not scented like coffee or anything like that. It just smells like wax, like, you know, like you would imagine a candle would smell before you burn it. Hello, Russia. Macho Man. Macho Man would have more hair down through, no, that would be Hulk Hogan. Did Macho Man have a mustache? Yeah, he did. I think it was just across like a chevron, a big thick chevron. 4 months on the 11th. Help me keep it on target. Thank you so much. Oh man, that's what I'm here for. Trying to share and answer questions. Because I know when I first started doing it, it was super frustrating. One thing I didn't know was don't put beard oil in your mustache if you're going to use mustache wax. And the reason is oil, wax is oil soluble. So if you put a lot of beard oil in and then put wax on it, it's going to stay kind of pliable or gooey, and it won't really firm up. So let me see. What made you start growing your mustache like this? So what made me start growing a mustache initially was a dare at work to grow a beard for a year. So I took that challenge, and after a year, I had a pretty decent beard. I could see I had a pretty good mustache. I took it out to 20 months, and everywhere I looked, there were all these wonderful beards, but not a lot of mustaches. So I made the decision to take the beard off and just stay with the mustache. So what made me decide to do this today? Well, I went with kind of like a Hungarian, and I said, you know what? Let me show how I make my closed curls. So this would be considered closed curls. Now, in a natural category for mustaches, typically they'll say you cannot have closed curls. The mustaches cannot connect. You also can't use styling aids. You can use a little bit of beard oil or beard balm, but if it looks real shiny, you could be Doc Points. Sometimes the contestants, you go right up in front of the judges. That's how it was for me for nationals. You go right in front of them, and you basically come up on stage and you go right in front of them, and you turn your head a little bit. And sometimes they'll say, can you turn your head a little bit more? And if you're in a natural category, they'll say, can you lean forward? And they'll put their hands through. They want to make sure they're not feeling hairspray or a styling product. But if your beard looks real greasy, like you put a lot of beard oil and balm in it, they'll put it through. That doesn't look very natural. It's the same with mustaches. So let me see. Slovakia, right? I hope I said that right. Hello, I have done store-bought type. It doesn't last long. Well, take a look on the back. My first store-bought brand had petroleum jelly, and that doesn't hold up very well. This has all natural ingredients, beeswax, and a couple of oils in it. Death Grip's another good one. BSC, Firehouse, Can You Handlebar. I could sit here all day mentioning a bunch of them. So, your mustache is awesome, bro. Thank you. So, if you check out the drum page via my bio, I've put in some of the websites, and if I have a discount code, they're in there. You could use them at checkout, save yourself a little bit of money. Do you work? And if you do work, what do they think about your mustache? So I do work. There's a lot of people like, oh, you got a really cool mustache. A lot of my friends are like, hey, I just want to cut it off. And I'm like, yeah, no, man, no. But a lot of them are like, that is really cool, and they always love hearing about you guys and how big the Elliott Nation has gotten, which is truly humbling. Thank you so much to me, right? So where can I buy it? WesWy. If you look at my link, I think it's WesWy Beard Company. I have their link on my drum page, which should take you there. I believe my discount code is listed there too. I've got like 9 different discount codes, so I don't want to tell you the wrong one. Whether it's Elliott 10, Elliott 15, 15 Elliott, you'll see it on the drum page. It'll have the discount code and then the link. So, straight out of 7, where did it go? 7 Deadly Sins. Yeah, Escanor. Go check out my videos I posted yesterday. I got the red tie, the white shirt, and the green vest. I even did one where I was pretending to be Escanor when he was a little bit quieter and when he reads poetry. And then he sees Lady Merlin, right? I even give a little shout out. Thank you, legendary. I'd like to think so. My hope is to inspire others to grow a mustache, to know that, it takes a little bit of a commitment, but there's not a whole lot that has to go into it. You don't have to put mustache wax in it. I do it because I enjoy it. It does help me eat when it's styled away from my mouth, but you don't have to. When I went to Nationals in 2021 in Scranton, Pennsylvania, there were 4 of us in the styled handlebar category standing on stage. I would love to see more people showing off mustaches. Do you have the longest mustache in the world? No, I do not. I believe the longest mustache in the world was 14 feet, right? I think that's the Guinness Book. So I don't want that. 4 months, beard tips. All right. Use a beard cleaner like this one from Can You Handlebar or Mountaineer brand, Beard Brothers, The Beard Place, or Honest Amish. Use a beard oil, right? And I use, every time I shower, I clean my mustache. When I had a beard, every day I cleaned it. Then use a beard oil. So when my beard was down to here, I'd use half a dropper. So what you do is start, line one finger, rub it in at the skin, right? At the base. Go in. Don't put it on the top. Then you want to use like a balm. This is a Mustache Balm, but you can see the difference in the consistency, right? It's more like Vaseline consistency. That goes on the top layer. They do make brushes. Start with the ear, go down towards the chin. And what that is that's a leave-in conditioner. Do that every day, and it will help your beard soften up. It'll help it grow to its fullest potential. Facial hair, the two biggest factors are genetics and time, right? And you can't change either one of those. Escanor! Cruel son, right? I gotta bulk up so I can do this second part. Rose outside, I'm smiling, but I'm crying inside. Well, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. If what I'm doing can bring a smile to your face, then, goal achieved. Goal achieved, right? Dance. Boop, boop, boop. Always apply at the roots. Yeah, no one likes a drippy beard. Yeah, I had a buddy, he was putting a lot of it on the outside, and it was dripping. But, when in the beginning, you're not sure how much to put on, so you're like, I got to put a bunch in. More is better. Not necessarily. Do you have beard brushes or anything like beard mustache, like a bundle? I don't, but I know that other places do. Let me show you my dry oil beard brush that I typically put my beard balm on. And it's ethically harvested horsehair. This is one from Can You Handlebar. Comes in this tin. It says beard oil brush. And basically what happens is you can either scrape out the balm and rub it in and then rub this on. Or what I do is I put it in, do a quarter twist, and then go from the ear to the chin. Both sides, right? And then go down. And then I take another brush, which I use a round brush, and then I go back through and give it more shape. This is more to apply it, and the other brush is to more or less give it a shape. Hello, Hungary. How are you today? Very cool mustache. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did some closed curls. Today is WesWy. The shirt is Rowback. This is called a Q-zip. It's a pullover with like a quarter zipper. Sorry, I've been talking so much. I gotta hydrate. Hydration is key. One of the key things to healthy facial hair. If you're dehydrated, then your hair can become dehydrated, giving you dead ends or split ends, right? So if I use that, do I still use beard oil and other products? I would say yes. Beard oil, okay, this is for the skin, right? Because your skin needs to be hydrated, it needs to be healthy. And if it isn't, if it dries out, if you're not using like a beard cleaner, you run the risk of stripping the oils out that the skin needs. If the skin dries out, the hair is not going to grow very well, right? So beard oil goes on the skin at the base of the hair. The beard balm, right? That goes on the top layer of the hair, and it's a leave-in conditioner. Hello, Poland! If you're in Poland and you're thinking about getting some mustache wax, make sure you check out, let me try to grab it without knocking everything over. Tom's Tash Wax, made in Poland. So definitely give them, go check them out. I'll have to pick that up here in a minute. But I've really enjoyed this. I happen to have today off, so I thought that I would get on here, do a live shaping. WesWy is a company out of North Carolina. They sell mustache wax, beard oil, and beard balm. I do have links in my bio on my drum page to some of these amazing companies. Can I braid it? I've had it braided before. I can't do it. I get super frustrated. But I do have a playlist called Bare Braided Bearded. So it shows me without a mustache, it shows me with a beard, and it shows when I have my mustache braided and when I had my beard braided. So, all right, guys, let me pop off of here. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I love answering the questions. I don't sell anything. I do have my own t-shirt. And I'm trying to get with the guy who makes them, trying to get him to get the website together so that you guys can order them if you like. I don't think I have one right here that I could show you, but it has my logo. A lot of you guys see it as my outro. And that's an Imperial mustache. And my mustache is a little long to make an Imperial right now. But I'll probably have to tweak this after I get off. But I need to go get some lunch. Today was WesWy Plain Jane out of North Carolina. Definitely go give them a, check them out. Like I said, the link is in my bio on my drum page. They are on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and making this an awesome live shaping. What do you guys think? Clothes curls turned out pretty nice. I need to adjust them. See how one side's going up and one side's going down. I need to pull the side in, pinch it, bend it over like that, and then go outside and in the cooler air and let it firm up a little bit more. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys. The Elliott Nation, we're going to get to 1 million soon. If we get to 1 million, by the end of this month, I'll grow my beard all the way back out for those of you who want me to grow my beard out. If you're part of the team that wants me to shave off my mustache completely, the Movember, which is an amazing men's health organization worldwide, get the link in my bio, the donation link to $250,000. I will shave this all off come March 1st. $250,000 really isn't a lot. If you think about it, 823,000 followers. If everybody donated 50 cents, that would more than cover the 250,000. So it all depends on what you want, right? All right, WesWy, I'm Bob. This is Elliott Norris, my mustache. This is a rowback. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love all of you from the bottom of my heart. You guys keep me going. You guys enjoy. Have a wonderful Wednesday. All right? We'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye-bye. Where is the off button? Oh, there it is. Right there. And now.